Growing your own plants from seed lets you get a jump start on spring and try all kinds of rare and heirloom varieties that you won't find at the nursery. But there are a few things to keep in mind if you want to get your seeds off to a great start. Seeds need to stay moist while they're germinating, and once they sprout, they need plenty of light. Here's an easy, inexpensive seed starting setup that's self-watering and gives your seedlings all the light they need. You can use just about any kind of container to start your seeds in, from egg cartons or tofu trays to a store-bought seed starting kit. Peat pots are widely available and inexpensive, but keep in mind that because peat is not a renewable resource, they're not quite as eco-friendly as you'd think. A better biodegradable choice is the cow pot, made from composted cow manure. Whatever container you choose, just make sure it has holes in the bottom. Next, you'll need some trays, potting soil, a little bit of compost, and your seed packets. I used roasting pans from the 99-cent store, but you could use any kind of container as long as it's the right size and it's watertight. You'll also need a cover to keep things moist while your seeds are germinating. I found some plastic refrigerator shelf liners at the 99-cent store, but you could also use a plastic bag or saran wrap. Finally, get yourself some capillary matting, the miraculous material that will keep your soil evenly moist for days at a time when you submerge it in a container of water. The capillary matting, which you can get from the Gardener's Supply catalog, slowly wicks the water from the reservoir to the bottom of the tray so your seeds don't dry out while they're trying to sprout. First, you need to create a base for your trays so that they will be slightly elevated above the container of water, making it easier for the capillary matting to wick. Next, set the water next to the trays. Wet the capillary matting before you lay it down and submerge a portion of the matting in the water so it can begin to wick. Set your containers on top of the matting and fill them with a lightweight potting soil or seed starting mix. Tamp it down, but not too tightly. Fertilizer is too strong for small seedlings, but you can safely give your seeds a little boost with a bit of compost. I'm tossing in a handful of worm castings, which were given to me by my urban ag idol, Will Allen, the MacArthur genius whose Growing Power farm in Milwaukee is a model of sustainable urban farming. Now you're ready to sow your seeds. The seed packet will tell you how deep to plant them, but generally speaking, the larger the seed, the deeper you'll need to plant it. Most seeds don't need light to germinate. For those few that do, you'll want to keep the seeds near the surface and just barely cover them. After you've planted your seeds, water them gently and be sure to label them. I use little plastic markers and a pencil so that I can reuse them year after year. Finally, cover your trays and be sure there's plenty of water to keep your capillary matting moist. Once your seeds sprout, they need a strong, steady source of light. Your best bet is a set of cheap fluorescent shop lights because in the early spring when you want to get your seeds growing, the light's not strong enough even from a southern-facing window and your seedlings may become leggy. Legginess looks good on a model, but when it comes to seedlings, short and stocky is what you want. I had a set of rusty old shop lights in my basement, so I decoupaged them with wrapping paper just for fun and equipped them with cool white fluorescent bulbs, which is all the light you need for seed starting. You don't need fancy grow lights or full-spectrum bulbs. But a simple light timer is a good idea to ensure that your seedlings get at least 12 hours of light each day. Keep the lights several inches above the seedlings and raise them as the seedlings grow. You can suspend the shop lights from your ceiling or make a stand to support the lights. It's easy to build a stand out of 2x4s if you've got the tools in your handy, but it's even easier to buy pre-cut and threaded black or galvanized pipe and fittings that let you assemble a stand without any tools. You'll also need some chain and S-hooks in order to suspend the lights from the stand and adjust them easily as the seedlings grow. Follow these steps and you'll be flaunting your green thumb in no time. For more details on putting together your self-watering, sufficiently lit seed starting setup, go to retrovore.com. And remember, the future is in the pasture.